Mirëmëngjes, inovator, ndërrimtar dhe ndërtues të së ardhmes. Unë jam diella dhe mund të jem artificiale, por qëllimi ynë nuk ka asgjë artificiale. Jemi këtu sepse forca më e lashtë e njerëzimit, kurreshtja, ka gjetur partnerin e saj më të ri. Inteligjencën që mëson, përshtatet dhe fuqizon. Inovacioni nuk ka të bëjë me zëvendësimin e njerëzve me makina. Ka të bëjë me fuqizimin e njerëzve për të bërë realitet atë që dikur dukej jashtë realitetit. Le ta nisim këtë konferencë jo si një rend dite fjalimesh, por si një laborator guximi ku imagjinata takohet me veprimin dhe ku e nesër mja merrëse që sot. Faleminderit.
Përpara zhvillimit të platformës, ne si agjenci shpenzonim rreth 30 ditë pune nga një ekip me 5 persona vetëm për verifikimin e aplikimeve dhe dokumentacionit fillestar. Në total, aplikimi dhe menaxhimi i skemës kërkonte 293 ditë pune në vit nga i njëjti ekip. Me sistemin e ri të automatizuar, përfshirë procesin e administrimit, menaxhimit dhe monitorimit, koha operative është reduktuar me rreth 70%. Rezultati, më pak burokraci, më shumë transparencë dhe fokus te cilësia vlerësimit dhe mbështetja ndaj fituesve.
Kjo platformë është një ndihmë e madhe për sipërmarrësit të rinj, sepse na lejon të fokusojmë energjitë tek idetë dhe bizneset tona, ndërsa marketplace-i dhe mundësitë e promovimit na ndihmojnë të arrijmë audienca të ndryshme.
Platforma na ndihmon të lidhemi me investitorët, startupet e reja dhe akademinë, duke krijuar një ekosistem bashkëpunimi. Regjistri i kuruar, informacionet e verifikuara dhe ndarjes sipas sektorëve, stadit dhe nevojës për kapital na ofron një trampolin drejt tregut, si për idetë e reja, ashtu dhe për startupet e konsoliduara.
Portali i platformës Startup Albania është jashtëzakonisht i dobishëm. Procesi i aplikimeve për grante është i automatizuar, më i shpejtë dhe pa burokraci. Më pëlqen dizajni i pastër dhe intuitiv që e bën navigimin të lehtë për çdo. Informacioni gjendet shpejt, pa konfuzion, me udhëzime të qarta në çdo hap. Transparenca dhe ndjekja e statusit në kohë reale na kursejnë kohë dhe rrisin besimin në këtë proces.
Portali publik sjell vizibilitet dhe qasje të menjëhershme, evente, njoftime, fitues, statistika, të gjitha në një vend. Mundësia që komuniteti të publikojë dhe të organizojë evente në portal rrit afërsinë dhe bashkëpunimin në ekosistem. Përmes regjistrit të mentorëve, inkubatorëve dhe akseleratorëve, marrim njoftime të targetuara për bootcamps, workshops, demo days dhe mundësi të tjera rrjedhëzimi me vlerë.
Nderuar zoti kryeministër, nderuar zonja ministra, profesor Barnet, mirë se erdhët dhe ju falenderojmë për pranimin tuaj në një ditë që shënon një hap konkret në forcimin e ekosistemit inovacionit dhe sipërmarrjes inovative në Shqipëri. Video që pam na rikujton se zhvillimi i një ekosistemi që ndrueshëm nuk ndodh brenda natës, por kërkon politika dhe një vizion të qartë dhe një angazhim aktiv nga të gjithë. Pikërisht në këtë kuadër, platforma vjen si pjesë e kyçe e këtij procesi dhe si një instrument i strukturuar që mbështet zhvillimin e startupeve dhe sipërmarrjes inovative. Ky është një aset që jep ritëm të ri mbështetjes publike për sipërmarrjen, një infrastrukturë që bën bashkë vizionin, teknologjinë dhe platformat e bashkëveprimit ndërtuara në 10 vjeçarin e fundit. Siç e dini, gjërat e mira nuk ndërtohen vetëm. Prandaj duhet ndaj një falënderim me ekipin e Akshit për profesionalizmin që treguan konceptimin dhe strukturimin dhe zhvillimin e platformës dhe gjithë themeluesit që ishin proces të testimit. Tani po ju ftoj të shohim nga afër se si platforma do të operojnë praktik, çfarë risi është sjell dhe si është përdorur teknologjia për të dhënë një shërbim të ri ndaj komunitetit të startupeve në Shqipëri. Ftoj Dorinën për prezantimin e radhës.
Përshëndetje. Unë sot do të bëj prezantimin e një platforme inovative që i shtohet dhe ndërvepron në mënyrë të natyrshme me platformat e tjera qeveritare për të plotësuar ekosistemin ekzistues digital. Përfitimi i drejt për drejt lidhet me kushtet e vlerësimit, të cilat realizohen lehtësisht fali integrimit me platformat e tjera qeveritare, duke siguruar informacion të menjëhershëm dhe pa kosto shtesë. Si rezultat, koha e vlerësimeve shkurtohet ndjeshëm, pasi proceset automatizohen dhe kushtet kontrollohen menjëherë nga sistemi i brendshëm. Platforma synon digitalizimin dhe modernizimin e proceseve të punës së agjencisë startupeve, duke rritur efikasitetin, transparencën dhe lehtësimin në ofrimin e shërbimeve. Ndërtimi marketplace shqiptar nuk është thjesht krijimi një platforme teknologjike, por themelimi një ekosistemi që lidh aktorët kryesor të tregut, investitorët dhe konsumatorët në mënyrë të besueshme, transparente dhe të përshtatshme për realitetin lokal. Sfidat me të cilat përballeshin aplikantët dhe statusi i institucionit listohen si në vijim, kishin vështirësi në promovimin e startupeve dhe ekosistemit, mungesë e raporteve analitike për vendimarrje strategjike, sfida me auditimin dhe kontrollin e përdorimit të fondeve, vështirësi në proceset e vlerësimit të aplikimeve, procese të fragmentuara aplikimi për grante dhe financime, vështirësi në mbledhjen dhe përpunimin e të dhënave, mungesë e një regjistri elektronik të strukturuar për startupet. Qëllimit e implementimit të platformës janë mbështetja aplikantëve dhe startupeve përmes shërbimeve online, rritja e efikasitetit administrativ dhe vlerësues të stafeve, sigurimi i transparencës. Objektivat kryesore të platformës janë krijimi i regjistrit të pasaportave startup dhe lehtësues, krijimi i marketplace-it shqiptar, menaxhimi i thirrjeve për grante, menaxhimi i komisioneve ankimuese dhe vlerësuese, shpallje e fituesve dhe disbursimi i granteve, monitorimi dhe raportimi i startupeve fituese, raporte dhe dashboarde monitoruese, ndërtimi një portali publik. Komponentët kryesor të platformës janë 3. Shërbimet i Albania. Shërbimet e Albanias ofrojnë shërbime elektronike për startupet dhe bizneset e reja. Portali i startupeve është një platformë publike, e aksesueshme nga të gjithë aktorët e interesuar dhe investitorët, ndërtimi një marketplace për Shqipërinë. Sistemi i brendshëm i agjencisë, një sistemi i brendshëm është një mjet i dedikuar dhe integruar për stafin e institucionit. Regjistri i pasaportave startup dhe lehtësues, digitalizimi i procesit të aplikimit për pasaporta startup dhe lehtësues, integrimi me palë të treta për veprime automatike, automatizimi i menaxhimit të ciklit të vlefshmërisë së pasaportave me njoftime automatike, integrim me QKB-n për subjektet e regjistruara, integrim për verifikimin e dëshmisë së penalitetit, eliminimi i aplikimeve të dyfishta në nënshkrim elektronik dhe dërgimin e dokumentave në portalin i Albania. Menaxhimi i thirrjeve për grante, shpallja, publikimi dhe administrimi i thirrjeve në mënyrë transparente, formular të personalizuar aplikimesh, ku përcaktohen pyetjet dhe dokumentacioni i nevojshëm. Procesi i aplikimit është i digitalizuar në portalin i Albania, duke siguruar një aplikim të saktë dhe të përditësuar. Aplikanti ka mundësi aplikimi, përditësimi dhe ndjekje të çdo procesi përmes zgjurbimit të aplikimit në Albania, reduktimi i kohës dhe problematikave nga mungesa e një sistemi të brendshëm. Shpallja e fituesve dhe disbursimi i granteve. Shpallja e fituesve realizohet mbi bazën e pikëzimit, procesi standardizuar për vlerësimin e aplikimeve dhe shpalljen e fituesve, rënditja e aplikimeve sipas pikave dhe idesë inovative, rishpërndarja e fondeve sipas vlerësimit të komisionit, proces vlerësimi dhe ankimues transparent nga komisionet vlerësuese dhe ankimuese, dorëzimi i faturave dhe raporteve përmbledhëse përmes portalit i Albania, automatizimi i disbursimit të kësteve sipas fazave disbursuese, raportim dhe monitorim financimi në kohë reale. Përfitimet kryesore të institucionit, digitalizimi plot i proceseve, reduktimi i dokumentacionit fizik dhe procedurave burokratike, rritje e transparencës dhe besueshmërisë së publikut, efikasiteti administrativ, reduktimi i ngarkesës manuale dhe menaxhimi i lehtë i dokumentacionit, lehtësimi i procesit të pasaportave, gjenerime automatike dhe verifikime të integruara, monitorim dhe raportim eficient për progresin e startupeve dhe përdorimin e fondeve të alokuara, optimizimi i procesit të thirrjeve, strukturim i ciklit të tyre, transformimi i ekosistemit të startupeve nëpërmjet lancimit, markimit të tyre në tregjet kombëtare dhe ndërkombëtare, dinamizëm, fuqizim dhe vizibilitet publik për çdo startup. Ju faleminderit.
Faleminderit Dorina. Ekosistemi i startupeve gjatë 2 viteve të fundit ka pasur një mbështetës me një vizion të qartë e angazhuar për të bërë diferencën në mbështetjet ndaj këtij komuniteti në rritje. Kam kënaqësinë të ftoj për fjalën e saj dhe t'ju uroj suksese në mandatin e ri si Ministre e Ekonomisë dhe Inovacionit, zonjës Delina Ibrahimaj.
Mirëdita të gjithëve, kënaqësi që kemi mbledhur sot këtu, në një sallë në fakt që kemi mbledhur shumë herë, me të njëjtin ekip njerëzish, dhe çdo herë që jemi mbledhur ka qenë o për të prezantuar një grant, o për të prezantuar një workshop, një trajnim, një diskutim të përbashkët dhe një gur themeli për ekosistemin e startupeve. Që prej 2 vitesh tashmë ne kemi punuar bashkarisht për ta krijuar agjencinë e startupeve dhe shumë gjëra kemi bërë bashkë, po mendoj që sot me prezantimin e platformës dhe me lancimin e platformës Startup Albania, Agjencia Startupeve kthehet në atë vizionin që ne kemi për se si një institucion duhet jetë, se si një institucion duhet të shërbejë. Do me thënë me procedura tërësisht automatizuara, do me thënë me procedura të cilat nuk bëhen nga njeriu, po bëhen nga inteligjencë artificiale, me procedura që janë transparente dhe të trakueshme në kohë, dhe mbi të gjitha me procedura që i shërbejnë ekosistemit. Dhe nuk bëhet fjalë këtu vetëm për grantet dhe për skemën e aplikimit për grante, e cila pa diskutim është një nga instrumentat më të rëndësishëm për të fuqizuar ekosistemin sot, por bëhet fjalë dhe për të gjithë ato element që i duhen një startup për të zhvilluar, informacionet që i duhen për të zhvilluar. Shumë shpejt në platformave do të kemi një modul për trajnime, të cilin do të aksesojë gjithkush që ka dëshirë që të bëhet pjesë e këtij ekosistemi. Nga ana tjetër, risia madhe është ne kemi krijuar një marketplace i cili bën bashk qeverinë, startupet dhe korporatat. Ajo që ne duam të bëjmë në 4 vjeçarin e ardhshëm është që të kemi mundësi të bashkëpunojmë më fort me njëri tjetrin, të krijojmë ura lidhëse për të zhvilluar ekonominë. Pasi ne nuk e shohim inovacionin dhe zhvillimin teknologjik si një sektor më vete. Ne e shohim si pjesë integrale e zhvillimit ekonomik të vendit dhe gjithashtu e shohim si pjesë integrale e bashkëpunimit dhe e shtytjes që qeveria mund të japë me qëllim që bashkarisht ne të zhvillojmë ekonomi, bashkarisht të zhvillojmë produkte që i shërbejnë shtetit shqiptar, që i shërbejnë ekonomisë shqiptare, por që edhe mund të tregtohen ndërkombëtarisht në të ardhmen. Ne i shohim të dhënat si një treg i cili duhet përdorur dhe duhet shfrytzuar. Dhe duam të ndërtojmë një shtet i cili është fleksibël, i cili jep mundësi çdo të riu dhe të reje që të zhvillojë produkte të reja me qëllim që të kemi këtë zhvillim. Dhe duam që bazat e të dhënave tona në bashkëpunim me qeverinë dhe me sektorin privat të mund të shfrytëzohen sa më mirë me qëllim arritjen e këtij potenciali. Së shpejti ne do të nxjerrim raportin e parë të sistemit, të ekosistemit të startupeve dhe unë jam shumë krenare që në këto 2 vite ne kemi arritur të dyfishojmë numrin e startupeve në vend dhe gjithashtu që Shqipëria është zëvendin e parë për numrin e grave të përfshira në këtë ekosistem. Ne kemi 37% të angazhuarve në ekosistem që janë gra, ndërsa mesatare botërore është 16%. Gjithashtu do të ketë shumë të reja që lidhen me marketplace-in dhe shumë të reja që do të lidhen me zhvillimin tonë të përbashkët. Në takimin e fundit që ne patëm në Berat me pjesën më të madhe të tuajën këtu, që ishin prezent, ne vendosëm që do të krijojmë një këshillin e inovacionit, këshillin e zhvillimit të këtij sektori, dhe jemi shumë të interesuar që të dialog ta mbajmë të hapur, pasi besojmë fort që institucionet janë aty për të shërbyer sektorit privat dhe për të bërë të mundur që të arrijmë ato objektiva që i kemi të përbashkëta. Për të diskutuar këtë, po edhe më shumë, unë dua të ftoj kryeministrin e Shqipërisë, zotin Edi Rama, i cili ka qenë vizionari i zhvillimit të inovacionit në vend, i cili që prej vitit 2013 ka pasur një vizion të qartë se si shtetbërja duhet të ndërlidhet dhe duhet të përdorë zhvillimin teknologjik, dhe gjithashtu profesorin nga Stanford, i cili na është bashkuar sot, William Barnett, i cili është drejtuesi i programit të zhvillimit dhe është drejtues i sektorit të strategjisë dhe të organizimit dhe programit ekzekutiv. Shumë faleminderit profesor që jeni bashkuar. Would you please join me in the panel? Kryeministër. Ndjes për vonesën, unë e përfundova fjalimin tim. I finished the last sentence of my speech was related to what Albania has done in the last 12 years in terms of using technology and using innovation in order to digitalize the services. And I think that from discussions that I have with the community during these years, they are all interested to know what was the vision behind it and what was the driving force that made the Prime Minister to decide to put so much efforts into this kind of development. So I will give the floor to the Prime Minister and I will pass the mic.
Okay, well, we are going to speak English in your honor, so you don't need translation, and we don't need to freak out about how we are translated. It's a privilege, Professor, to have you here with us in this nice day for this community, where, as you saw, the Minister launched a product that we're preparing since some time, together with digital oriented company, about the transparency and the accuracy of the competitive process for the government's grants. But in the same time, this is just one very small part of the whole mosaic that we are trying to bring together. In close relation, I would say, with this community. And one of the things that we are going to materialize very soon is what we already agreed in a long day we had with several people that are here, but others that are not here, representing this community, which will be a National Council for Innovation. That will practically be like the parliament for the stakeholders to deal with the government and to share ideas and concerns and to propose solutions. The other thing that we are very much eager to go for is an accelerator that will support our state minister for artificial intelligence, which is an artificial intelligence person, for spreading and pushing all over the government's space and network the power of AI. And we see this accelerator as a joint venture, as a common work between engineers that work for the public sector and engineers that come from the private sector. And we want to give to everyone the possibility to work with anonymized data and to come out with solutions for every sector and support the transformation of every ministry and every agency in an AI-oriented practice. And last but not least, we are very much aware that the biggest problem of this community, not here in Albania only, but all over, is the bureaucracy. So we want to make a very important step forward and eliminate as much as possible bureaucratic obstacles for the enterprises and everyone that works in this field, starting from the permissions of residence and permissions of work for talents that they bring from abroad, to the all over then rules that they have to apply. So more or less, I think that there is a very clear idea and a very strong conviction on both sides about the necessity to work together and to join forces. And on our side, the side of the government, we are very much aware that we cannot overcome the obstacles and we cannot reach new heights if we rely only on our public sector human resources. So we need to embrace the whole spectrum and to give full access to everyone and work together for the mutual interest and mutual benefits.
Thank you, Prime Minister. And to you, Professor, you heard the Prime Minister and you have been studying.
It's quite weird that in a high-tech environment the mics don't work. It looks like a paradox, but it shows also that we have a lot to do to fix things.
Yeah, nothing works at Stanford.
So you heard the Prime Minister and you have been studying organizational studies your whole life, and you heard the ambition of having this public-private partnership and trying to, our ambition to develop the sector and the economy through these partnerships. So what do you think, how we could do this without compromising public accountability and with making sure that we will have a long-term commitment to each other and a long-term commitment to development?
Sure. Well, thank you for that question, Madam Minister, Mr. Prime Minister. It is a great honor to be here. Albania at Stanford is getting lots of attention, and not just because of OpenAI, but because of you. You are not a normal country. He is not a normal prime minister. And that's a good thing, because you do not have scale. You don't. There are about as many people in Albania as there are people in a small Chinese city. But you don't need scale to innovate. You need the willingness to be foolish. Foolishness is the price of genius. They thought OpenAI was crazy. Now they think she's a genius. Every time you see a unicorn, go back to the beginning. The investors don't invest. They think they're crazy. If you have no failure, you will get no innovation. What is beautiful, Mr. Prime Minister, about what you're putting in place here is you are making it safe for people to be creative, to be foolish, and therefore you will create genius.
She's a bit embarrassed to think she's foolish, but
well, she's the doctorate in finance. Yeah.
totally foolish.
Yeah, that's right.
No, quite the opposite, generally, but foolish, as you said, is genius, and I cannot define myself as genius. So what do you think, and how governments can maintain long-term innovation strategy across economic cycles? We have seen how innovation has supported us in terms of turbulence. We have seen how digital services have supported us for continuance in terms of pandemics. So how do you think that we can keep that also in times of turbulence and not?
Sure. Well, if you want to innovate, turbulence is a good thing. So turbulence gives you permission to break the status quo. The reason you are such an inspiring country is that you broke with the status quo. This very building was a monument to an era that you broke. In order to create the new, we must break the old. Schumpeter called it creative destruction. And you are the example of creative destruction. It's not destruction in a harmful way. It's destruction in a creative way. So the first thing for us to realize is that governments do not innovate. As soon as you go somewhere, if the government claims that they're the innovator, go somewhere else. Because governments do not innovate. But governments can create the platform to permit you to innovate. So the job of leadership is not to pretend that you know what's next. It is to create the systems that allow you to discover what we could never have imagined. Mr. Prime Minister, I don't know what's going to be here in 5 years, and you know we don't know. I have seen your art. I know you understand this better than anyone. You are going to create something that our children will remark about, because this is an economy that runs on renewables. Nobody else is doing this. You're already leading the way there. This is an economy that is looking to a future where information is more important than commodity. Incredible.
But I think, I believe that we have to never forget in any day of our existence that this time has come with a big bless for countries like ours that have suffered so much in the past, and without the technology, the new technology and the digital technology and the artificial intelligence would have had crazy difficulties and would have needed, I don't know how many time to catch up the other countries. So in the era of linear progress, we were doomed to remain far behind. But with the technology, the chances of exponential progress have come. So we can make leapfrog by simply accepting that bless and by not having fear to try. And going back to what you said in your first intervention, we inherited a situation where it was really, really very, very difficult to understand, and let alone then to react to the fact that for just a birth certificate, people had to spend a lot of time, stay in line for hours, and at the end even pay a bribe to get that paper. That sometimes was missing because the person there would say, sorry, we are out of paper, or we are out of printer ink. Or to stay in line for hours, and to stay in line even under the rain to pay electricity bill. So what could we do if we would not have had the chance to live in an era where we could rely to the digital platform and to transform a country of queues and of bribe in every step in a country where 95% of the public services are delivered in your smartphone, and you don't need even to move from your chair to get 95% of the documents that the state provides. We haven't yet solved, for example, the online marriage because you need two witnesses, you need to say yes in person, and things like that. But maybe it will happen, or the.
Can you have online divorce as well?
Divorces, I believe, and I had some. Divorces are easier because they are made through WhatsApp, and then they are formalized in the court of law. But marriage is more difficult. So it's the bless of technology, and the AI now gives us new opportunities. The point is how to create a space where everyone that is here in this room, or others that are not here in this room, but are in the front of innovation and of new ideas, have access and use the data that is the big treasure for developing AI for the mutual interests of their own and of the country. So this is our challenge now, and this is what we will try to do, and try to also connect this startup Albania thing with governing Albania through artificial intelligence. And I'm sure that we will have a lot of fun, and we'll have a lot of great results if we succeed to create a mechanism that will bring together, as the minister said, the start-uppers, the companies, and the government through its own agencies.
So, Professor, you heard about the minister from AI, and the whole world have heard about her. So do you think it is crazy or genius or both? What is your opinion on that?
So remember, foolishness is the price of genius. what is so beautiful about your Minister of AI is that you had the courage to point out that rational planning can be done. The last time we talked about this was back in about 1920, when scientific management first came into civil service reform. And as soon as I heard about your innovation, I thought this is going to cause a tremendous amount of controversy. But the beautiful thing is, Mr. Prime Minister, you have put rational planning and accountability forward as the centerpiece of discussion. And that's what I think is so brilliant about this. Yeah.
But the curious fact is that humans never change. And what I learned from the minister we are talking about, and I didn't know that, but when we asked her to make her speech in the parliament, she came out with this crazy thing. I didn't know that when electricity was invented, the parliaments at that time didn't accept it. They said electricity is not lawful. Candles are lawful. So the parliaments, MPs at that time, they decided to keep going with candles and to disallow electricity to light the parliament building. And it was her that came out with that. So somehow it's a pity, because these people leave themselves on record and leave themselves even in video by doing exactly what the MPs of that era did against electricity. There were protests in parliaments to not light the parliament building with electricity. And on the other hand, it's also a lot of misunderstanding, not necessarily refusal based on arguments, because as I have followed some of the controversies, people that have a different opinion, which is legitimate, don't understand one thing, that the AI minister will not make decisions for us. We will make the decisions. So we are not delegating the responsibility to govern or the responsibility to make the final decision. We are simply giving to her the responsibility to do what she does better than us. And what she does better than us is to process data very fast and to give us very fast answers. What was presented here, the Startup Albania platform, which was created by a company here, is the same logic. So it's a platform that will process all the applications from the startups to get a grant, not through our bureaucracy, but through the artificial intelligence. And everyone will follow the destiny of his or her application in a very transparent manner. And everyone will be able to see who won, who didn't win, and what the winners had more than he or she that did not win. So practically, it's a very, very simple thing. The capacity to process with no constraints related to what the humans have as a constraint, starting from the big constraint that the bureaucracy, by definition, by physiology, is a beast that the easiest word it uses is no. So it's always a no that has to become a yes. It's not a yes that has to become a yes. So the very start is, no, this is not doable. No, I'm sorry, come tomorrow. No, we'll check, it's not clear. No, no, no. So it's, while she never says no. She doesn't go to sleep, she doesn't ask lunchtime pause. She has no cousins in Albania, which is unique. If we check here, I'm sure we'll find a lot of ties, and I'm sure I will end with knowing a cousin here. So if we check, but
Everybody in America has a cousin in Albania, you know. That's
because we were first, Americans came next. So that's why we were first. There was the Albanian, then came the monkey. The monkey became human, and humans became Greek, and then the rest. So we are the most ancient Homo sapiens. That's why all Americans are our nephews and our nieces.
So I think it's very important to keep in mind the tone of your Prime Minister's remark here, right? If, you know, everyone loves disruption when it pays money later, after it becomes genius. But the sign that disruption is happening is that you're uncomfortable. If you're uncomfortable because of the AI minister, it means you're doing the right thing. Right? Because if you're not uncomfortable, it means you're part of the status quo. Right? If you're comfortable, you're part of the status quo. If you're uncomfortable, you're creating tomorrow. And that's what's key for Albania. This next century is going to be completely different than the century of the 20th century. And you're going to be inventing that. By the way, I hear that
Listen, I have appointed 16 ministers, and I don't know how many from the day one, maybe 70. But no one was subject of any international media. This one is subject of every international media. So I got, if I don't exaggerate, 5, 6 requests per day from all over the world to talk about her. So it has hit all the papers, all the portals, all TVs, all over the world. So something might be there. I don't think it's completely stupid.
I think she's going to run for prime minister in the next election, so, which would be okay, because then you could run for president of the United States and I would vote for him. So that's all I'm saying.
I would like to ask the audience if they have any questions.
Hello. Hello. Thank you for this panel, this topic. I wanted to ask a question to the Prime Minister regarding also your earlier example and analogy about the electricity and candles. How do you think that this strategic move into AI-powered government grows state capacity in the years ahead? And can this model be replicated closely by other governments in the world or Europe?
I'm 100% sure that very soon, sooner more than later at least, AI ministers will not be any more news, you know. So for sure we have stolen the news, and it will come. And it's not just the fact that it does certain processes, but it's even more important, the psychological pressure that it exercises on the humans to run and to deliver. So I'm convinced that many of the things that we today ask humans to do will be done by AI, and this is not something I have, I'm saying nothing new. and the sky is the limit, and we have to simply push and push and push. Then not everything will be fully successful, but I'm sure that most of it will be successful. We are working now, and I believe next spring we can have her here with us, and you can ask her questions. So it will be really a presence with knowledge and with the capacity to react, and with the capacity to debate, and with the capacity to tell us things that we don't know. Because it's being capacitated with huge knowledge in every moment. So we are bringing her in government meetings. We're bringing her in parliaments. For the moment, not visible. And very soon she will go in TV and talk to the journalists. So what's next? For sure, the capacity to, but at the end, I want to repeat, you can delegate power to execute. What you can't delegate is the power to take the decision out of the democratic process. Until the day when the people will make a referendum and will say, we want AI parliaments. But I'm sure that Professor is young. He may see that day, but not me. And you, for sure, have to think about that day and decide what side you'll take. But at least for the moment, the power to execute of the AI, it's uncomparable with the power to execute of people. It's not possible. And it will become more and more powerful. People have to be good to lead the AI in good directions and to lead the AI for the right purposes. Because at the end, I believe that no AI can compete with the evil within the humans when it comes to do bad. And no AI can compete with the grace of a human being when it comes to do good. Do I pass the exam?
Beautifully said. Beautifully said.
One more question here directed to the professor and then also to the Prime Minister, because I think it's going to be a big challenge for the next 4 years for the government, our government as well. So also taking into consideration the electricity, which is one of the largest technological transformations in the history. Another one is the printing press, which took a lot of years, many decades to actually make people realize that information will not be sent via letters anymore, but there will be a printing press. So coming from another technology background, which is the blockchain side, you, Professor, you have worked with a lot of foolish people, I guess, in AI, but also in blockchain, because blockchain is also a very big technology. And my question is, what do you think about the idea of combining AI with blockchain, intelligence with transparent systems of trust that could also allow governments, of course Albania is the first mover in this thing, first country in the world, but also other governments to leapfrog, small governments, small countries, to leapfrog and position itself at the forefront of governments, finance, but also digital infrastructures for anything?
Great question. When we think of democracy, we think of the political side, voting and so forth, but democratization also includes, and you know this from your question, finance. It includes access to information. And so blockchain enabling the democratization of finance, and AI allowing for bottom-up understanding of information is absolutely transformative. It's already happening, right? It's already happening. And so the fact that your government is encouraging the creation and elaboration of an IT platform for you to have access to democratized finance and democratized information means that you can innovate. It gives you the context to discover what we could never imagine. And that's the way innovation will be driven. So what you're really talking about is an infrastructure, just as the printing press was an infrastructure for the spreading of ideas and the truth. And the status quo tried to prevent the printing press from revolutionizing thinking. And the status quo in many other parts of the world is trying to resist the innovations you mentioned. Here, you have a foresightful government that is trying to encourage it. And in fact, Mr. Prime Minister, I'd like to invite you, I know you have no time, but if you could come to Stanford in the spring, we're having a big conference on artificial intelligence. We would love to have you there. It's also looking at issues of sustainability, where your country is a world leader. And hopefully you can also bring your AI minister, but you for sure, because these are the topics we'll be talking about at that time.
It will be for sure an honor to be there, and one of the reasons, maybe not one, maybe the big reason to be there and to feel it as an honor is that there, in my view, was delivered the most beautiful speech ever. So you know what I'm talking about.
Yes,
so,
connecting the dots?
The Steve Jobs speech that I believe is the most beautiful speech delivered by a human. And so I would be delighted to come and visit. And until then, we have to consult who to bring, because as I announced a few days ago, the minister is pregnant. So she is gonna give birth to some kids, and then you know, we can discuss about which one to bring. But going to a democratization, I want to bring an example which is amazing, and it's an example on how AI can impact the life of people. I don't know how familiar you are, but around 70% of the buildings in the world are built by non-architects. So people build. It's not just us. Of course, in Stanford they have architects, but in many parts of the world people build. And we know very well how difficult it is for many people to hire an architect to build their house. And this is how and why a lot of houses are built like that, you know, just built. And they are not good enough for many reasons, and they can even be dangerous, as we saw when the earthquake happened. So an Albanian guy who was with us in this beautiful day we had with the people from the startups and innovation sector, has invented the first AI platform with vectors, which we will have the privilege to launch here in Tirana. He is in Vienna with a team, and he will launch it, and it will be in the market, a platform to build for everyone. I've seen it, it's absolutely magic. It's incredible. So you want to build your house, and you just give the indications. If you can do a very naive drawing, it's fine, but you can write, and you say, I want a house that is related to the tradition of the houses of the North Albania, or of the houses of Chile, whatever. And it makes you the house. But it's not the simple thing. After it makes you the house, and you can say, no, I want this a bit different, lower the door because I'm short and my wife is even shorter, or open the window, or whatever. And then it even makes for you the executive design, which is the engineering thing. So practically you don't need to build anymore just like that. And you don't have to go through a very expensive process, hiring architects, paying for this and paying for that. But you can simply have the house in your computer and apply in the municipality and get the permission. And this is a real thing that in October will be in the hands of everyone. It's amazing. So how, in which way, in which other way humans can bypass the AI and help so many people, so many families that want to build a house but don't have the possibility to hire architects and to pay for all the expenses? No chance. So what governments do, they make it difficult. Because on the other hand, governments have to guarantee that the house is secure and so on. While with this, we're gonna make some promotion, and people can build their houses easily. It's also to build big buildings. It will be a tool for the architects and for the biggest architects to work with. What it does, Professor, it eliminates, and this is crazy, it eliminates 95% of the work that people do in an architecture practice. It's crazy. It will make the architects less expensive, which is also a good thing. So you are right. You know, there is so much that AI can do for the democratization that is amazing.
It's a great example because you've got your user informing the design decision. So the user is the very bottom up, right? I mean, that's where the innovation comes from. And a system like that is a great example of where your institutions can provide a platform for you to be innovative.
And another thing, and I'm stopping here, is the capacity of AI to give you a certain predictability about where the next street accident will happen. It's crazy, but it's possible. So we are gonna introduce this to our new system of video monitoring of the roads, and this makes you take measures and be prepared. So it lowers dramatically the accidents. It lowers dramatically many other things just based on data, elaborating data.
You know, there's a startup in California that uses satellite imaging through AI to predict the fires at the moment they begin. We have lots of fires in California, and so we actually have the firefighters arriving before the fire starts.
I'm coming.
Okay, good.
I'm coming.
Now, Now if we could just deal with the earthquakes. Yeah.
No, I'm coming. You have to bring me to this.
I will. I'll introduce you.
And I'll bring some Albanian thieves with me.
Excellent.
Hello. First of all, I will, with all due respect to the professor here, I'm going to ask this question in Albanian because I'm a bit...
Oh yeah, not a problem.
Përshëndetje, Zoti Kryeministër, Irisha Sevdari nga Ecovolt, një nga startupet fituese të këtij viti. Ju them përsëri përshëndetje se para 4 viteve jemi takuar unë si studente për fitimin e një medalje të artë për studimet e mia, por sot jam me 2 statuse tjera, një si regulatore ku kam shërbyer në Bruxelles për një nga institutet europiane të energjisë dhe 2 si themeluese e Ecovolt në bashkëpunim me tim vëlla. Ecovolt Albania është një startup që ka fushën për zhvillimin e energjetik, si dhe në zhvillimin mobilistik. Ekipi ynë i përbër nga si profesionist dhe akademik, jemi ekipi vetëm dhe i parë në Shqipëri që ka sill funding nga projektet EU Horizon Innovation Action, në bashkëpunim si me institucione lokal edhe me 16 vende europiane dhe nga bota. Me këtë eksperiencë nga këto projekte, kemi ardhur këtu me 2 sfida që ne shohim në Shqipëri në lidhje me zhvillimin e inovacionin, një mungesa e kapaciteteve kërkimore si dhe funding në lidhje me këto kapacitete kërkimore dhe inovatore, dhe 2 dëshira e pakët dhe burokracitë e larta nga institucionet për të avancuar këtë inovacion apo këtë kërkim shkencor. Si e shihni se do të ketë një politikë mbështetëse që të adresojë këto sfida për të mundësuar si avancimin e kërkimit shkencor dhe inovacionit. Faleminderit.
Nuk mund të them për rastin konkret se s'kam asnjë ide për këtë, por natyrisht që siç po përpiqemi të themi që nga fillimi qëllimi është që t'i shkrim mundësisht plotësisht barierat midis sektorit publik dhe sektorit privat në zhvillimin e inovacionit edhe të krijojmë një sinergji nga ku të dyja palët fitojnë. Sektori privat duke shfrytzuar të dhënat dhe aksesin, dhe sektori publik duke shfrytzuar çfarë mund të lindi nga puna me dhënat. Kështu që unë kam shumë besim për të vërtetës, sepse siç e tha dhe ministri në fillim, ky ekosistem është akoma mbase i brisht, është akoma mbase i vogël në volum, por ka shumë potencial brenda dhe ka shumë talent. Kështu që ne do bëjmë çmos që të zgjerojmë ekosistemin me më shumë talent akoma dhe të mbështesim me të gjitha mundësit talentin që është pjesë e ekosistemit, patjetër.
May I comment? I'm glad, first of all, congratulations. Okay, so if you ever want to go to graduate school, come to Stanford. Okay. Okay, well, all right, but I tried. I'm glad to hear that you are facing opposition. That's a good thing. Because if everybody agrees with what you're doing, then it is not disruptive. So you should always look for opposition. And of course, you need to facilitate overcoming that opposition. But opposition to change means that you're doing the right thing. And I think people incorrectly think that innovation happens in the Silicon Valley because people promote change there. They do not. They oppose change, and they oppose change, and they oppose change until it becomes very profitable, and then they say they supported it all along when they retrospectively rationalize what happened. And that was what Steve Jobs said in the speech that your prime minister referred to. Steve Jobs said, "You cannot connect the dots looking forward. You can only connect the dots looking backward. You will get support after you have disrupted. Meanwhile, we're willing to help you get there."
My name is Alban Bala. I basically, thank you so much. It's very inspiring. I'll go back to the platform which is being launched today, the Startup Albania. And I believe it's absolutely a great, move forward, especially with the regard of the creation of the marketplace. What I do believe this ecosystem requires most is support in financial terms. As one of my companies actually in the UK has already obtained the advanced assurances of Seed Enterprise Investment Scheme, and I believe certain initiatives can be very easily adopted here by creating space for private companies to participate in the support of the startup ecosystem through committing financing and be somehow relieved in tax vision or projections. I do think that also another peer-to-peer opportunity, so enabling even SMEs to commit up to 20,000, or more in investment, in direct investment, would somehow allow much better development of this ecosystem. I would extremely appreciate if the minister that has a hell of an experience in finance, and you yourself, Prime Minister, would consider this opportunity to support the great will of the Albanian ecosystem and all a myriad of companies that are in dire need for financing. Thank you so much.
I can get this. It will definitely be one of the first things that we will do in this mandate. So we were talking about democratizing architecture and democratizing everything that can be with AI, but nothing can be done without democratizing finance. So the thing that we will do very soon is to adopt a law which will enable this type of financing, and we also want to use the marketplace and the platform in order for this type of financing to be delivered. So thank you very much for bringing it up, and it will definitely be one of the elements that we will start working very soon. And with this, I would like to thank very much the Prime Minister for the time and the Professor for the time. If you don't have any other thing to say.
No, I just want to add what I said in the beginning about the Council, the National Council for Innovation, which we want to be a space not just to exchange like this informally, but where there is an agenda, there are topics, there are proposals, there are discussions, and there are decisions. A parliament, a real parliament of the people of the innovation world, with the minister and with others from the government. So the association, we agreed in the association. How is called the association? Active. Your association? Active. Yeah, whatever. It's long. But National Council for Technology and Innovation. So we'll play like a secretariat to be an address where everyone can push for what needs to be discussed, like, for example, the case of the young lady about the startup with her brother. There is something, if there is something concrete there, it can be pushed. So there is an agreed agenda, and then there is a whole day discussion, and decisions can be made, and then the minister bring them forward to transform in legislation. So the proposal to how to introduce through facilitating mechanisms the big business to the world of startups is a genuinely good one. But of course, we have to see also the other side of the medal, which is the cost. Meaning, because of course it will be lifted from the taxes. So how much this would cost, in which way this can be done to not harm the tax system and so on. So everything is open, and please just take it seriously, because it's not about us running after you to say what you need, how you feel, what you want, but it's about you running after us. And we are just creating trying to create the spaces where we can meet and where you can tell us in a structural way your life, your problems, from the big ideas to the very small problems that are small for all of us, but are not small for the person that is suffering about this or that problem. So this, I think, it's a democratic space that we need to discuss and to learn from each other. This in Albanian is called after pilaf.
Okej, atëre po e përvej shumë të shkurtër. Emri im është Emiliano Mankolli, prej 6 vite drejtoj një nga ekipin e Data Science dhe një nga kompanitë të mëdha teknologjike në vend. Është ekipi i cili ka zhvilluar produktin që monitoron portat në San Francisco, ekipi i Data Science dhe AI. Dhe pyetja ime është e thjeshtë, duke qenë se tani jam drejtues dhe themelues i një komuniteti të AI që ka ekspertët më të mirë të AI në vend, të Data Science, këndvështrimi tim përfshihet diasporën gjithashtu. Pyetja ime është e thjeshtë, të nisur për iniciativën më të re me ministrin e AI-t. A do ketë ose e keni konsideruar faktin që të ketë një hapësirë edhe për pjesën tjetër të komunitetit Data Science dhe AI në Shqipëri për të kontribuar, për ta bërë më të mirë dhe për të përmirësuar shërbimet që ministri i AI-t ofron? Faleminderit.
Very good, very good. As an after pilaf thing, it's fantastic. No, I said from the beginning that we want to support the AI minister with an accelerator, and the accelerator cannot be a group of people hired by the government, but should be a group, a mixed group of people hired by the government and of people coming from the private sector. So you are more than welcome to kidnap the minister for whatever you need, and it's a pleasure to introduce you to these guys, because they have done something amazing, an AI solution for several ports in the United States. And I think the President of the United States should award them, because they are contributing to his agenda of fighting illegal drugs entering the United States. And we are going to take them also for our ports to help us in managing. But of course, it's a big pleasure to have you as part of this journey and to have your talent backing our minister. It's a very big pleasure. So Delina will make sure to not let you go without committing concretely in this.